running. So next thing is to get the car turned on. Before you can turn on, there are 2 checks you need to do. First of all, you make sure the handbrake's on, which it is.
Does it need to be down?
Right up, so it's up right up there. Because sometimes if you just got in the car, somebody else might have been driving and they left it off.
Okay.
Probably not.
So all the way up is on?
Yeah, so it's quite stiff right there. There is another way you can tell in a moment when the car's on. Yeah, you can tell now. So the red light on the right, on the speedo, the one at the top with the circle, that tells you it's the handbrake's on.
It's on, okay, cool.
Yeah, that won't always be on, it's just because we've got the car's electrics on now. But if it isn't on, you can just tell by, you pull it and it's quite stiff and you won't move anyway. You also check that the car's 9 gear. Normally,
so neutral, like when you...
Yeah, that's it, there's the automatic wipers. Yeah. Normally, why do you leave your car parked in gear? Because you're supposed to always leave it in gear when you get out.
Are you?
Yep.
I don't know.
So normally, if you're leaving one like that, your car won't roll should your handbrake fail. So if you're going up a hill, you leave your parked in first gear. This road's pretty flat now, but if you're going down the hill, you leave your parked in reverse gear. So it's always going the way you don't want it to go. So if you don't want your car to roll forwards, you leave it in reverse, so it keeps it back.
Okay.
If you don't want your car to roll backwards, you leave it in 1.
I got it, yeah.
So it stops you rolling back. I find in this particular car, first gear works up or down. It just does, but it doesn't in all cars.
Okay.
So you're leaving 1, but when you get back in the car, you must take it out straight away.
Into this.
That's it. Normally when you move that, what else would you need to do? And you don't really have to now because it's turned off, but normally, which pedal would you need?
You need the clutch.
Yeah, so we're going to go over that in a moment about the clutch, but it's good practice even now to get used to going clutch down and then you go like that.
Okay, you can't do that without the clutch.
That's it. It will now because it's off, but it won't when you're on. If you try and do that when it's turned on, you'll just get horrible sounds. Right, so what you do, handbrake's on, gears in neutral. So if you hold your clutch fully down all the way, that's good. As it is there, that's fine, but just so you know, it must be as it is now, it must be right the way down.
Yeah.
If you have it even a millimetre off the floor, it won't turn on.
Okay.
So if ever you have that problem,
Then don't press that.
That's it. So you tap that once. Yeah, that's good. And then your clutch comes up all the way. That's it. When you're in neutral, of course, you're not in the gear. So you can lift your clutch however you want because you're not in any gear.
Yeah.
So normally you can't do that, but as you'll find out in a moment. But in neutral it's easier. It might sound funny this, but how can you tell the car's turned on?
It's the engine, you can hear it.
Yeah, if you can't hear it out, how else would you know? Because there is another way you can tell.
It won't move.
Yeah, well, also, if you look at the revs, what's different about those revs?
Oh, it's on nearly 1.
That's it.
And before it was on 0.
Yeah, so you can sound obvious, but if you're driving down a high street, for example, like that one behind us there, it's going to that button there hits the back window, by the way. So I'm just going to clear that before we go. Yeah, if you're on a high street or it's loud around you with lorries or whatever, you may not be able to tell if the engine's on. It sounds daft, but nearly everyone at some point when they're learning will try and move off with the engine off.
Okay.
And they don't understand why it's not going. But if you stall and you're not sure if the engine's on, look at the revs.
Okay.
If the revs are on 1, they'll just be, I'll call that 1, I know it's just below 1, but if they're on 1 like they are now, then it's turned on. If it's on 0, it's turned off. So, next thing is to actually get the car moving. So I'm just going to draw a diagram on this. I use a lot of diagrams, and just going to draw this one in. This you might not see on the video, but I'll show you this in a moment. So, if you imagine your clutch, do you know what you said the clutch was? Because you mentioned it's something about moving, but any idea what it actually is? What does it look like? If you don't know, it doesn't matter, because I wouldn't expect you to know that. But it's, this is one of the more mechanical things you need to know. You don't need to know much about cars at all to drive, but there's a few things you do need to know. One of them is the handbrake, about the way that works, and one of the other ones is about the clutch. So imagine that is when your clutch is fully down, all the way. Just put C down. And actually I won't actually no, it's down. So when it's down all the way there, when it's up all the way there, your clutch is a mechanism that connects 2 parts of your engine together. So it connects your engine to the wheels. Imagine that one is your engine on that side. And on that side you got the tyres. So there's like 2 plates. You might have heard of clutch plates or clutch discs. It's like 2 metal rods with a disc or a plate on the end of each one. So when you clutch down, they come apart. So your engine is not connected to your tyres.
Okay.
So that's
you
right.
Can't move.
That's it. So I'm going to clutch down, 3, 4, whatever, 1, rev. Nothing will happen because nothing's connected to anything at the moment. But when you clutch it up all the way, like that, the 2 plates come together and then they start to lock and grip.
And that's when you can drive.
That's it. But as you probably know from before, it's not as simple as being on and off if ever you've tried this. Because there's an area called the biting point. Have you heard about that before? So the biting point is where the two plates begin to bite, start to grip. It's about halfway up. It's a little bit less or more in this car, depends how you look at it, because everyone sees it differently. But it's about there, your biting point, roughly halfway up on the diagram. So first thing you've got to do before you can do anything when you come to driving is you have to go clutch right down all the way. You move into first gear, and then we're going to lift the clutch just a little bit, and you'll feel it when it gets to about that point there. You'll feel the car. If you're doing no clutch for now, because when I do mine, yours will feel a bit funny. If I lift mine about halfway, roughly about there, you feel the car pull. It sounds a little bit different like that.
Yeah.
It kind of makes that growling sound. And if you listen to when I put it down, it kind of lifts.
Yeah.
It kind of sounds a bit
I
different.
heard you.
So the biting point is really hard to find it to begin with, because it's about there on the very bottom of the whole biting point. You've got to find the lower edge of the point to begin with. There are different amounts of bite you need. For example, when might you need more power? This won't come in today, but
Going faster.
yep. What else will, when you move off, what kind of road could you be on? When
On
you
a
might,
hill.
Yep. So if you're going uphill, you have the clutch higher, more power. If you're going downhill, you might not even need it to the point, because you don't need the clutch
Okay.
to pull you forward. But there aren't many hills around here. I was thinking about it on the way over. It was quite a flat area.
Yeah.
So we don't need to think about hills for now.
Okay.
So to begin with, that's what we're going to do. Just show people that. That's what I'm talking about. In case anyone wants to see that. Right, so all we do is you go clutch down all the way.
Me.
Yep. So it's normally it's just before I was demonstrating that. If ever I touch the pedals, I'll always tell you, unless it's an
Okay.
emergency, I don't have time.
Okay.
But if I do mine, yours feel weird. And
Yeah,
you go
you
around.
did, yeah.
So if you call ghosting, if ever someone ghosting on the pedals, you'll tell.
Okay.
So it's good practice as well now to always be looking straight ahead. So this looks a bit weird when you don't look at people when you talk to them, but always keep looking straight ahead.
Okay.
Because then you get used to looking what's going on the road. If you get too used to looking down, you might look down one, look up, smash. It's too
Yeah.
late if you're moving
Okay.
off in
I
traffic.
need to
whatever.
know the gears.
That's it. So if you're going over into first gear,
Can I
don't
look?
look. That's it. You can look just now, but try not to.
Is that right?
That's it. The only problem with looking is people get so used to it that,
Yeah,
that they get in the habit of looking down all the time.
Okay.
So generally you always look at the top half of the windscreen. Not always, but generally. If you look down the bottom half, you're normally looking somewhere you don't want to be looking, because you don't need to see what's going on down there. Okay, so to begin with, just lift the clutch on its own very slightly and just find the point. It's very slow, so put about there. That's it. Just leave it down a tiny bit down. That's good. When we say a tiny bit, it's like the thickness of a debit card or a credit
Okay.
card, whichever. So
Yeah.
the difference with right and wrong is like from there could be good, that could be bad. It's like a very small amount of movement. So if you go clutch right down, is that there? Yeah. So right,
Right
down all the
down,
way. That's
yeah.
good. And then just bring it back up again, just so it's on the point and it pulls a little bit. And you'll hear the engine change. About there, that's good.
Yeah, I
So you'll hear
heard
the
it.
change. If you do it just a tiny bit higher, like a millimetre higher, that's what you do when you're just a little bit down.
Ah,
A little bit
moving.
down. That's it, a little bit down. That's it. You say you move with the brake on, because the clutch is so strong it will pull you even with the brake on.
Okay.
This car being a diesel, you've got so much power, it will pull you, easily with the handbrake on.
Without even any accelerator.
Yeah, that's it. Petrols don't always do that, but diesels, they pull really hard. That's why
Yeah,
you've
my
got
dad did
lorries.
it. My dad's car did it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Is that petrol or diesel?
Diesel.
Yeah, that's it. Petrols you'll find now resist more, to our lorries and whatever, trains are diesel because they pull massive weight really hard. But you don't want that to happen. So if you go back into neutral now, just try and have a look in there as well. It's always tempted to look down, but we'll keep trying looking at the van.
Okay. Yeah.
That's it. When that's in, your clutch comes off all the way.
So I can put my clutch all the way
That's
up.
it. That's good.
And it won't move.
No, that's fine.
So only when it's in gear 1, if I put my clutch up, it will start to move.
That's it. You can move off in second rarely. You wouldn't hardly ever do this, but you can. If you're sort of in snow, sometimes you might do it.
Okay.
But you may have to get to drive in snow because it's the time of year for snow. But we'll come back to that later on. So, which of the pedal would you normally use to move off?
Accelerator.
Yep. So if you're trying to press on the gas and just get the revs to about, no, just a little bit, about 1.5, so it's very sensitive.
Yeah, I didn't expect that.
Now all cars are pretty much the same. They're all very kind of light on the pedals, as it were.
1.5.
That's it, somewhere around there. Where I am again, I can't see the revs, but that
Yeah,
sounds
it's exactly on 1.5 now.
That's good. That's spot on. It's good as well because your foot is staying still,
Yeah.
because it's quite hard to begin with.
It's
to
quite
keep your foot
stiff, isn't it?
That's it. So if you go gas off all the way now, that's good. So let's do just 2 things together, because that's normally what you do. You do 2 feet together when you move off. So if you go clutch down all the way, and
Well,
try
it's
and keep
supposed to be
looking straight
neutral.
on. That's it. So keep looking straight on that green Jeep. The reason I look down, by the way, is I have to check what you're doing. It sounds
Okay.
like I'm cheating, but if I don't look as well, it could be dangerous. So clutch goes down all the way,
Yeah.
and then over into first.
Is that right?
Which gear is that? That's it. He does have a
Is that
3 because he
right?
went straight up. That's good. Just to go over this point, when you go to 1, you have to go kind of over.
Over and up, yeah,
That's
not
it.
just straight up.
That's it.
My bad.
Okay, so if I come off my clutch now, you just leave yours right down.
Yeah.
That's good. So you now press the gas a tiny bit to go to about 1.5-ish. It doesn't have to be 1.5, but that's just a good way to begin. So
Yeah.
about there-ish. And I bring the clutch a lot before to the point, so it pulls just a tiny bit. About there. Just down a little bit lower on the clutch, a little bit lower down. That's it, about there. And a little bit higher. It's very fine, that's it, a little bit lower down. That's good, about there.
Okay.
And then gas comes off a tiny bit less. That's it. So it's just a little
Okay.
bit of gas, but not too much at all.
I'm
That's
on
good.
1.
That's it. That's good. So that's where if you get a clutch down there a tiny bit, that's good. That's the balance you're trying to find. So you've got enough gas to go, and you've got enough clutch to go, but you're not actually going. You're not
Okay.
actually pulling away. So if you go clutch down all the way now, back into neutral. That's good. Okay. And then both your feet come off together. Now to begin with, we do this in quite an unusual order because you see feet get used to moving in different ways. If you haven't driven much before, you don't do much with your feet apart from walking, whatever. So it's harder to be
Yeah.
using your feet than your hands. Why must you have a gas when you go?
Well, otherwise you'll burn your clutch, won't you?
Yeah. Sometimes people say you can move off without the gas. You can't, although it physically works, it doesn't do your car much good.
Yeah.
So if you have too much gas, so why is that no good?
Because won't it just make a really horrible sound?
Yeah, so you're all screaming away. You won't necessarily go flying down the road though, because it's your clutch that regulates how much power
Yeah.
comes through. So if you had the gas revving really loud and you did the clutch slow, you wouldn't necessarily go flying down the road. But if you have no clutch at all, you'll just be juddering away and sort of quite clumsy getting away. So it's about getting the right balance. It normally takes hours and hours of practice to get that right, but even after you pass, you can still be developing that for months. Because it depends on your car, different cars, different clutches, whatever.
Okay.
So normally that's what you do. So imagine I haven't got a gas pedal, by the way, I've got a brake and a clutch, but I don't have a gas.
Okay.
So I'm going to go clutch down to 1. Imagine I've done the gas, but I won't. And I do clutch up a little bit like that. About there. There are normally other things you would do before you move off, but we'll come back to those in a moment. So for the handbrake, what you do next is you drop the handbrake all the way down, and then when the handbrake hits the floor, you lift the clutch really slow. I'll give a diagram again. It's funny. Your clutch has got to lift through the biting point. It should take about 2 to 3 seconds at least to travel through the biting point. So your clutch has got to go slow, slow, slow. Your clutch only actually does something there in the middle. The top and the bottom, it doesn't actually do a thing. So it's only that middle little band where it works. So you can actually lift your clutch quick to the point, slow to the point, and then quick beyond the point. This is what takes a while to get used to. You don't have to lift it slow all the way, but you can't lift it quick all the way. It's got to be kind of quick, slow, quick.
Okay, I got
So
it.
it's like a kind of jerky movement in a way.
Trying to get to that point when it changes sound.
Yeah,
Is that
that's
the
it.
bit you're on about?
That's good. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to move off a little bit now, and you can try this. I'll go clutch down 1. Imagine I've done the gas, but I've got no gas. I'll
Yeah.
go clutch up a little bit. Normally I would check all around, but we'll come back to that later on. So handbrake drops all the way down. When that hits the floor, you do a little bit more gas. Then your clutch
So
comes
it
up.
has to be down to drive.
That's it, it's got you right down all the way. So gas goes down a little bit, clutch comes up a little bit, and you should feel that smooth. So when you do that, it's really smooth. And it's safe around here because there's no one around at all, it's a dead road, so it's ideal for doing this. Okay, so now you go, handbrake back on. So right up all the way, and then back to neutral. So that bike though, so I was looking around. For the moment, I'm not mentioning much about looking around, but I'm always looking around to begin with, just in case you move off at the wrong time. Okay, so let's give that a go. So you go clutch down all the way, and try and avoid looking down now, try and keep looking like that moment
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so moving to first. That's good. And then a little bit of gas, but not too much. Just about 1 point.
A little bit of gas.
That's it. It's always gas then clutch every time. Gas clutch.
Gas
all the
then
time.
clutch.
That's good. And then just a little bit less gas, not too much. About there. And and then clutch up just a tiny bit so it's barely pulling at all. You want the absolute lowest edge on the clutch you can on the bike. That's all right there. That's good. Okay, so at the moment there's no one around. So handbrake comes off.
Handbrake comes off.
That's good.
Why am I stopping?
That's good I can. So handbrake right comes off all the way. That's it. Right the way down. Just gonna put it right down. And then gas goes down.
Oh
Just
my
nice and
God.
wide. Just nice and wide from that car. Clutch up all the way now. That's really good. Good moving,
Oh
mate.
my god, I'm actually driving.
That's it. We're going to pull up just after the red car there. I'll pull us up just somewhere there. Steering Gargroven at the time. For now, I don't say much about it because I just want to see how you can do. So if you do no pedals at all,
No pedals at all?
that's it.
Get rid of my pedals?
Yep, that's it. No gas, nothing. It's important to know you won't just hold the wheel. You won't stall if you come off the pedals. You'll just cruise and cruise
How
and
come?
cruise. It's just the way the car's made. It's good sense when you're cruising like that, and you'll just take over and cruise. All cars should do that. So nice big turn to the right. That's good. I'm just going to drop the clutch and go left a little bit more now. That's good. And then right a little bit more. That's good. Yeah, that's fine about there. Okay, and then when you stopped, handbrake goes back on. So right up all the way, and then back to neutral. When you've done both those things, handbrake and neutral, then your feet can come off. And that's all.
I usually can't just take my feet off.
No, we'll go this more next time, but if you come off your feet straight away, you just stall. Because
Yeah.
if you're still in one, you try and move off.
I need to keep my clutch down. What order does it go in? Keep my clutch down, put neutral, then handbrake up.
So normally it's handbrake and then neutral. So you secure the car with the handbrake and then neutral to make sure you're not going to move anywhere. For the moment, though, don't worry about that because that comes in next time. That's all about stopping.
Okay.
There's a lot to learn at first and it's a lot to take in. So if you do it all in one go, like all the looking around and everything, it's a lot to do.
Yeah.
But that was good. The only thing wrong with the handbrake didn't go down all the way because it stopped about there. So I
Okay.
took it off, otherwise it would have been.
So to drive, it needs to be all the way
Yeah,
down.
it's got to be right the way, hit the floor when it comes off like that.
Okay.
It feels awkward at first because this handbrake, it's quite new this car, it only goes down a little bit. So it's all handbrakes feel
Can I
different.
try again?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
That's good. Yeah, this on the dashboard as well, the red light on the right, if you turn that down, it'll go off.
So that means I can drive, and
That's
that
it.
means I can't drive.
That's it. If you pull it up a
Drive,
tiny bit
drive.
and just see how little it comes up, because even when that's up, if you go down all the way on that, that's it. Just look at that light, you pull it up a tiny bit of the handbrake and it will come on even
Yeah.
more. So it's only got to be a tiny bit up for that light to be on. Okay, so that's how you move away. We're doing much more of that in a moment, but let's give that a go. Give that a go. It's going to go clutch down all the way,
Yeah.
and then we go, what's the next thing you do?
Neutral. Or is it? It's already in
That's
neutral.
it, switch gear now.
So now I'm going to go to what?
That's it. And a little bit of gas.
Have I put my thingy down?
That's fine. So that's the last thing you do, because when that comes
the last
off,
thing I
you go
do?
in. Yeah. When your handbrake drops, you go in. So
Oh,
you've got
so
to
I
be
need
ready
to
to go.
arrange, get my
That's
order
it.
right.
So
The
it's
balance.
a little bit of gas. Clutch just about, almost there, about there. So it's just pulling a bit, but not too hard. Just clutch down, 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 clutch down. So it's got to be very, very low, clutch down, down, down. So your clutch has to be very low. It's really, really low down. If ever your car moves, clutch down straight away, because that means it's too high.
Okay.
So gas is good as it is. Clutches are right there. You don't even feel the pull, doesn't matter, because you don't need the pull because the road's flat. So that's good there. Because no one around at the moment, no bother us. So handbrake comes off all the way. And then gas, clutch very slowly up, crawling up. That's great, that's it, that's really good. Now your clutch comes up all the way.
Oh my god, I'm going too fast.
That's good, clutch right up all the way. And I'll pull us up just
Right
on
up?
the left. That's it. I'll pull us up on the left just by this black box, or green box. That's good, just right, quite a bit of turn there to the right. So if you turn right a little bit more, that's it, no gas at all. That's it. For the moment this is awkward because when I do mine you can't do yours, but
Yeah.
so if you turn left a little bit though, that's good. And I'll stop us around here. And then just right a little bit. That's good. And then left half turn there. Okay, Stephen will come back to you next time, or the one
Okay.
after. It's that doesn't matter now. So when you pulled up, what did you say you had to do? Remember the order of those things that you've got to do before I can lift my feet.
To go into keep the clutch down, keep it into handbrake
That's
first.
it. So hammer goes on.
Handbrake goes up,
That's good. And then which gear?
and then neutral,
Yep.
and then take foot off.
That's it. So we're neutral there. That comes off. Well done.
Okay.
Okay, for the moment, don't worry about that. But it's always handbrake neutral. And if your signal was on, you would then take the signal off as well. So your hand going to go from there to there to there. It's like an arc.